Good morning, everyone. A beautiful Sunday on the Okanagan River. We are camping on BLM land. If you're not from America, BLM is the Bureau of Land Management. They manage huge swaths of land, I think primarily in the west. And you can camp on them for free, recreate for free. So it's always kind of a cool thing. We are on the, did I mention, on the Okanagan River? So we're getting ready to load up and then we're going to head into, I'm not going to tell you yet, we'll surprise you. Unfortunately, we have the dirt bike. So that means we have to, in my lack of insight, my lack of preparation, I didn't bring a bike carrier. I was thinking, oh, we'll just put it inside. Yeah, so now every time we stop or want to use the bed, we have to take the bike out. So we have our system down pretty good. Fortunately, we designed the van bed to be 3 panels so we can easily take it apart, stack it on the side. So we're going to load up now. I'll show you some of the gold dredges over here on the river. We woke up last night. We had a tremendous thunder and rainstorm. We were snug as a bug in a rug in the van, but it was quite a lightning show. Mrs. W was a little bit nervous about flash flooding, but not to worry, we're still here. So let's get the bike loaded up and then we'll take you on the road. I see Mrs. W is looking as beautiful as normal. What's your secret? How do you do it? Are you ready to load a motorcycle?
Let's do it, baby.
Just slide this one over here. Okay. I think those straps are still down there, right?
Yeah.
Play Wawa. The sweet loaf won't be denied.
Persistence is her middle name.
Are you ready?
It's almost off the ramp.
It rained a lot last night, didn't it? Can I show you how the gold dredge works?
I would love to learn.
The water's warm.
That's what they all say.
Be careful, it's slippery. Let's move, let me move, and then you can move.
That is not warm.
All right, it actually is. Come on.
It's not warm at all. Wait, how cool?
It's actually very warm. It's much shallower.
says the man with really long legs.
My granddad and I used to do this when I was younger. We dredged for gold. This is a gold dredge. This is a homemade one. You can get commercial ones, but how it works is you've got a sluice box here. You've got a water intake. This engine does 2 things. It runs a suction pump right there, as well as off that belt. This is a compressor for air, breathable air.
Why do you need that?
Because trying to have a tank, like a regular scuba tank, is cumbersome.
And what do you need it for?
Well, they're under the water running the suction hose. So if you see right there, there's a regulator, and his lead weights to help keep him down, and that's the air tank right there. So he'll put those weights on so he can stay down, and that white tube right there is the big intake. So that intake will come in here and is a constant stream of water, and then he'll take a suction pump and he'll suck gravel and silt and everything that will come up into this sluice right here. Now, you see he's got a little pry bar right there. He'll pry rocks out of the way so he can get into the sand. Now, the gold is heavier than the rock. And so what happens is, as the gravel and the silt washes over this sluice, the heavy gold sinks down into that carpet there. So he'll suck gravel and silt all day long, and at the end of the day, he'll remove that carpet, roll it up, and then rinse it into a gold pan, and then pan out the lighter stuff, and then you'll get the black sand, and then you'll get the gold. So there's actually guys that can make a full-time living doing this, just prospecting for gold.
And so why do they leave everything here? Is this not a valuable piece of equipment, or is there just the trust process, or what is this?
I can only speculate, but I would imagine we've seen so many of them here, probably a dozen of them in the stream, and there's guys doing it. It's probably a pretty tight-knit group. They probably kind of keep an eye on each other's stuff, I would imagine. Kind of interesting, that pole right there, that's what keeps it from floating down. So they'll drive that into the rocks, and it'll stay. But again, you can get commercial made ones that are really fancy. This is a pretty nice one that's just obviously home built. So where are we heading today?
So I think we are up here, and I'd like to go down by Palmer Lake over to Loomis, and then we'll take 97 down to Okanagan, and then we'll head over to Twisp, Winthrop, Mazama.
I might get some gas here in Loomis. You like the humidity?
I love it.
Makes your hair really big. Can you make it bigger?
I gotta go deal with a crying baby.
We're driving through the Okanagan Valley. It's just full of pear and apple orchards, beautiful, lots of lakes. But one of the things I wanted to show you that was so interesting are all of these old flumes. Now, these were built all over the West to bring water down to different areas for different reasons, and I'm not really clear on these particular ones. Like where we live at home, they built flumes to bring timber down, and they actually floated big logs down to the sawmills. That's where the idea for the ride at Disneyland came from. For the Disneyland log rides, the old loggers would actually, whenever there was a jam, they would have to jump on a log with their spike or corked boots and ride the flume down to clear the jam. It was one of the most dangerous jobs that a man could do. These here, I don't know if they were brought down for irrigation or for mining, but there's just miles and miles of them, and they're all still, partially intact. These here have corrugated tin on them. I wonder if that was to aid in evaporation, so they didn't lose so much water. I just don't know what this was for, but it's amazing the work that went into building these. If you look, they actually had to excavate and build a almost like a road bed for the things to so they could sit flat. But all of that had to be all done by hand, and you can imagine the maintenance involved in that. It was just must have been a constant job to build those so that they could transport the water. And there's, as I said, there's just miles and miles of them. What have you made for us for our traveling snack?
A little groove salmon.
Coarse mustard.
That's right. Your Swedish is getting so good, love.
Yeah, I only know that because I heard you telling Brian. Summer sausage treats with Tillamook cheddar.
That's right.
We're looking for a place to have breakfast when we get up into town, but we hadn't needed a little tide me over. We are in Twisp, Washington. We stopped at the municipal park to cook a little lunch. We're going to be kind of exploring town tonight, so we'll bring you along for that. It's one of our favorite towns. What are you eating?
Banana.
Banana?
Bananas, pickles, and cheeseburger.
Well, mine's almost done. I'm going to join you here shortly.
Good. I'm hungry, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. Oh my God!
Are you
More.
are you thirsty?
Yeah.
Here it comes. Let's get a drink. There. Can you get a drink?
Hey, Mama.
Hi, baby.
Do you want a drink, Mama?
Should I show you? You want me to show you how to do it?
Yeah.
Like this. Oh, you can do it. Good girl.
Mama did too. Wawa.